38. Plain joy. Just plain joy. Stella was learning to run the kitchen. Mama, sitting with her leg elevated on a pillow, directed, guiding her on details Stella had never paid much attention to before, like boiling and frying and searing. Hot water, cornbread, cornmeal, water, flour, sometimes an egg, plopped into sizzling grease. Succotash, okra, corn, tomatoes, and peppers, sliced, diced, boiled, and fried. Cookies, sugar, butter, cinnamon, flour, and more sugar. Stella had generally preferred eating the goodies rather than cooking them, but Mama's years of gentle lessons were paying off now. Jojo, without being told, had taken over most of Stella's barn chores. The family never missed church. Is it truly Christmas in 2 days, Stella? Jojo asked for the 70th time. And for sure, we don't have to go to school this morning. It truly is, Jojo, Stella assured her brother for the 70th time. Why do you think I'm making Christmas sugar cookies? She wiped her hand across her forehead, smearing flour across her brow. And no classes, just the pageant tonight. Now, go get me some more sugar. I think there are a few raisins left in that jar, Mama called out, pointing to the high shelf. Jojo looked at Stella's face and burst out laughing. You got more flour on your face than in the bowl, he cried. Keep that up and I won't let you have any of my cookies, Stella warned, flicking flour his way. You'll probably burn them again anyway. You're right, Stella agreed good-naturedly, but I'm getting pretty good at this cooking thing. Jojo scurried to find the raisins. She sat down at the kitchen table to stir through the thick dough. Stella, honey, I might not be fit for dancing, but I can certainly stir some batter, Mama said, stretching her arms for the bowl. But I want to do it, Stella said with a smile. I'm going to try to make us a really good Christmas supper, Mama, all by myself. I have no doubt. Holler if there's something you can't figure out. Stella heard a rustling in the loft and hopped back up to get the coffee. Papa was awake. The family had seen him less and less this past month. In addition to keeping their farm going, he had taken a part-time job at the mill to bring in a little more money. So he was often gone and always tired. She poured the coffee into a cup and brought it to the table, but Papa strode directly to his wife and kissed her on the forehead. Morning, he said. How's my Georgia peach? Fair to middlin', she replied with a big smile. I'm just sitting here watching our daughter cook like a grown woman. Morning, Papa, Stella said as he made his way to the table. She slid the steaming cup in front of him. And how's my other favorite girl? He asked, slurping the coffee. Don't tell your mama, but I think you might have learned to brew the perfect pot of coffee. I heard that, Jonah Mills, Mama said, laughing. Are you off work today, Papa? Stella asked hopefully, now placing a slice of lumpy cornbread in front of him. No, but I'll get home early, in time for the Christmas pageant. And I'll be home Sunday, since it's Christmas. They're closing the mill the whole day. Good, Stella said. You can get some rest. Tell that to the cow, the mule, and the chickens, her father said with a bemused smile. Y'all ready for your show tonight? You and Mama are going to love it, Stella replied. I get to be assistant director. That sounds like an ideal role for you. How you doing, girl? Papa asked. You getting enough sleep? Yes, Papa, I'm feeling just fine. You make my heart happy, Stella, her father said. For everything you do with your brother, helping your mama with the cooking and washing, you have no idea. Everybody helps. The neighbors still bring food from time to time, and Jojo has gotten really good with getting firewood and cleaning the barn and doing the outside chores. And Mama's getting so much stronger. We're going to make it. Her father gulped down the rest of his coffee and began lacing his boots. I'll see y'all tonight, he said. Looking forward to seeing that pageant of yours. Putting on his hat and taking the cornbread with him, he headed out for the 3-mile walk to the mill, where Stella knew he'd be lifting logs and sweeping sawdust all day long. Mama dozed while Stella washed the dishes, swept the house and both porches, and peeled potatoes for supper. When Mama woke up, her eyes were glowing. "Hey, you two, let's decorate the Christmas tree." Jojo jumped with excitement. "What we gonna put on it?" he asked. "How about we start with popcorn?" Mama suggested. She told Stella to heat the butter, toss a half cup of the popping corn in, and cover it, and wait for the pop. Pop, 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 pop. Jojo sang along with the popcorn as the kernels exploded into the delicious bits of fluff. When she took the top of the pan, he cheered. Taking a needle she'd threaded, Mama showed them how to pull it through each piece of popcorn. Soon they had a long chain done, then another. They would have had 3, but Jojo kept eating the popcorn. What else? What else can we put on the tree?" Jojo asked, his mouth full. Mama had an idea. "Go out to the hen house, Jojo, and get some pretty feathers. Look for the long ones, the tail feathers, and pine cones. There must be 1,000 pine cones." He darted out before she finished speaking, leaving the front door wide open. "Jojo, you don't live in a barn," Stella called out after him, only to hear her mother laughing. "What?" Stella asked as she closed the door. "You sound just like me," her mother said. While Jojo was out collecting, Stella had another idea. She pulled out a long spool of bright red knitting yarn from Mama's sewing basket. She took every single spare button from the basket's bottom. As with the popcorn, she strung each one onto the yarn. She tied a knot between each button so that they wouldn't run together. She had just knotted the last button when Jojo returned triumphant with the egg basket filled with feathers and pine cones. Together, they made a garland of pine cones and chicken feathers, so pretty that Mama decided then that there they had just created a new holiday tradition. Strand by strand, Jojo and Stella walked around the tree, wrapping it with their popcorn, the buttons, and the garlands. When they finished, all 3 stood back, Mama leaning on her cane, well pleased at how pretty it was in the fading afternoon light. "I think it's our best tree ever," Jojo said, picking a popcorn husk from his teeth. "Just plain joy," Mama breathed. "We couldn't have done it without you, Mama," Stella replied, knowing in her heart it was true.